Oh shit, be careful with me because I've been at war for about the last 46 years. I used to live in a little village. I was brought up in a village of 750 houses with one pub. And it was a bit like that Deliverance film, serious. And they're like, you could hear dueling banjos and they're all like inbreds and it was shit really. And I hated this one pub and I never used to drink. So I wrote a poem 30 years ago about this pub. It's called Behind the Taproom Door. Dirty back streets breed dirty people, who all reside behind the taproom door. It's all the same. Dirty back streets breed dirty people, who all reside behind the taproom door. All the old ways, all the old games still remain the same. Domino players, beer-named smokers, toothless old and blue-eyed young. It's a ritual gathering in the smoke-stained hall behind the taproom door. Right in the corners, a taproom bandit. You put in your money and you waste what you win. The dirty girls are slouching, sipping Becks and parting. Let's have a bonk, boys, would come on stairs. While the men all pose and show off a bit of muscle as a macho look always gets the fuck behind the taproom door. It's just the same, every night. All 7 days and nights of sin, so just beware, my God take care, just don't enter in behind the taproom door. I was drunk on New Year's Eve. I got into drinking, and on New Year's Eve we make all New Year's resolutions like we're going to lose weight, start an ant farm, stop smoking and all this, but nothing of course ever happens. This is called Drunk on New Year's Eve. There's a strange kind of comfort in the security of knowing that some things just never change. And so with my old friend depression for company, I pour myself another drink. It's another year again, and my clothes are looking shabby, and I guess that I'm starting to think. And although it's old lang syne and empty gesture time, from where I'm standing, it all still looks pretty bleak. I guess I should make a New Year's resolution, but only one I resolve to contend with avoiding having to think, and so I just pretend to myself that I'm happy, and I continue to submerge myself in the sickly, sweet comfort of the numbness and solace that's drink. I had this wild relationship for 10 years. This is called murder, and it fucking was. Right. For years I hid from the world in a relationship with one of the most attractive women in the city of Nottingham. I thought the world crazy, and it seemed to hold a similar view of me. Anyhow, we lived in a flat in a tower block, 14 stories high, above the streets of a problem area, where together we would laugh, cry, cook, eat, sleep, argue a lot, bathe a lot, fight and fuck. Mostly though, we just fuck. Simply, she was an amazing fuck. Although much more than that, she was a good, kind-hearted, strong woman, an erotic, diminutive woman of Jamaican, German, Scottish, English extraction. She had a temper indisputably Scots, although to compensate, she had a dusky complexion, a sculptured bone structure, insatiable thick lips, dark laughing eyes, and a mane of corkscrew curls. She was my little apostle of Eros, with her body like Aphrodite incarnate, a body capable of ascending anyone to heaven. And for many, many years I was on first-name terms with all the saints. I frequented the haunts of angels, and I became familiar with every line and pore on the face of God. Yet, inevitably, as with all real-life fairy tales, eventually we found our lives spiralling out of control, and we descended down to hell. Due to the age-old factors, lack of money, opportunity, and the problem of me wanting a better life through a photography degree. Anyhow, she left me. Like a fool, I told her to leave. But then, alone and inconsolable, I formed a new relationship with the bottle. Needless to say, it wasn't too long before that and the world murdered me. In the summer of 1988, I decided to make these fake public announcements, and it was in Council Green. It was about this big, and I stuck them all over Nottingham, and this is one of those I found. It's called a public announcement. Today the government has disbanded. The police, the army, the navy and air forces have handed in their uniforms. Social workers, probation officers, teachers and county councillors will be given, together with civil servants, will be giving up their posts for jobs serving the community. Instead of holding elections, it has been commonly decided that we are going to hand around each other's poetry so that everyone can have an equal say. This is sorry, and it's to this woman called Chrissy, I guess. I wrote it in bed the other night. Through these myopic blue eyes in this ravaged, savage, broken face, I've seen things you have never envisaged, baby. And sometimes there are no words to convey personal pain, but I guess that's just the way it is. And to try is plainly pointless. It's as absurd as attempting to define love into a concise explanation. So all I'll say, it's been brutal. Yeah, it's been fucking brutal, baby. And in brutal times I've considered suicide, homicide, and even genocide. And that's the size of it, baby. And some wise old woman said, the best the average person can strive to attain is a life of carefully controlled pain. But then again, I'm not your average man, baby. And although now I'm just a shadow, the bloated corpse of the man I think I used to be, through sheer will and indomitable tenacity, yeah, I'm still burning. And when I hear the bell ring, I still emerge from my corner, kicking and screaming, baby. Yet still I want you to know how I'm acutely aware of the disparity between just what I say and just what I mean. Then again, every word I say turns out a sentence. And for this and a million other idiosyncratic flaws, I'm truly sorry. But then again, you know as well as I do that I love you, baby. The last words of Vincent van Gogh on a suicide note to his brother were La tristeza continuera por de Jaws. And I'm a bit of an existentialist, if I don't like labels, but so here we go. This is about how things really are. The winds of despair fill the air at the onset of a new day, and all smile and feign to care, only to coldly from each other turn away. And the TV set jacks up the public's moral mind with its diluted truths and mental decay, while students from nurseries to universities are taught the lie that competition is life's only plausible way. And the same few left with any human sensibility turn to religion or radical ideologies in the vain attempt of trying to find a better way. Yet just like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, trying to recant to their God their sins, sometimes the desire for freedom in this world of unreason seems only a desire to piss in the wind. I read this book called Notes on Spoiled Identity by a social psychologist when I was about 20 called Irving Goffman, and I guess I wrote this the other night as remembering that. It's called I'm a Compatriot of the Refugee. And the nasty words are intended just as the enduring spasticus autisticus. I'm a friend of the Mongol man, the spastic, the nutter, the transsexual who pushes their dog around the streets in a pram. And the girl with the hair lip is beautiful, whilst all the catwalk models are walking abortions. But then again, admit I've got strange taste, and I'm a contrary man. Then again, they christened my father, Tommy Opposite, when he slaved for 50 years down in the coal mine. And in my own way, I too have done my time. And this rant is for my old dad, for giving me the genes to enable me to celebrate and embrace all that is maligned by society and deemed to be mad. Just the last one, I just scribbled this out yesterday on a piece of paper. It's called Victory. For the crime of being born with the capacity to think, I have been crucified 2,000 times. For having the ability to reason, I have been stigmatised, and my anger is such that my contempt warrants no vilification, as by the very fact that I have survived, it's victory enough for me. Cheers. Sorry about the fuck-ups, you know, I'm nervous.